can't remember.
I feel like I know exactly what it is, and it's something stupid.
Because every time I do it, I just want to end it with the Looney Tunes.
Oh, that's what it is!
Is it? I thought it was like intermission. Yeah.
Damn it. What's my password? Oh, I know what's wrong.
Oh, this is what I was thinking of.
Oh.
The Monty Python intermission music.
I fucking love Monty Python so much. Like, it's an unhealthy amount of excitement I get when we decide to watch that. My middle school teacher for history class and one of my high school teachers for history class, they decided it would be a really good idea to show a bunch of the students Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Nice. They're quality teachers.
And then we watched The Life of Brian.
That would actually make me depressed. I'd be like, then if I was a teacher, feeling the need to show these to my students makes me think, wow, you guys haven't seen these already? Like, who raised you?
You gotta think, though, like, in middle school?
Oh, middle
I'm
school.
30.
Fair.
That was a long time ago.
I think middle school's around when I watched Holy Grail.
Yeah. So, Eric, you're playing Lanowir.
Yes, Yennefer.
Lanowir. And Robin?
I'm playing Zezia. Get your drugs ready.
Well, that'll help move the story forward.
You're welcome.
It's another cold night between fall and winter at the Dolby Inn. It's currently 2 in the morning. What on earth are you guys doing there?
Well, Zezia was tripping balls and decided to go crash at the inn because it was safe.
Okay.
And Rupert makes a really good sitter.
Well, he wouldn't be there at 2 in the morning, but he does make a good sitter in that he left you drinks and stuff.
That sounds great.
That's
why Rupee is the favorite.
The only person working there is the night auditor, Daniel Beluskin, and when you walk into this place, you see over in the bottom right corner of the map by that fireplace, they've moved all these couches and a table over there, and there's what look to be a bunch of sailory types. I think you'd be safe to guess that they are some sailors and some dock workers. Other than that, aside from Daniel at the desk, the entire first floor is empty. What's
Zezia is probably sitting at the bar itself, like sitting on a stool, but kind of laying her torso over it, stirring her drink with her finger, and just staring at it with like wide eyes.
JT's typing something. Oh, no, can't play this evening. Well, fine.
That was me typing in anger.
What's Yennefer doing?
He is sitting at the bar, like, stirring a mug of something hot.
Oh, he showed up tonight too. Okay, so you guys are just hanging out at the bar, and you can hear these guys talking in the corner by the fireplace, but you can't always hear what they're saying. You can only hear when they, like, make a big loud joke and laugh or something. But then one of the guys comes in, and they've all got drinks over there at the table that it looks like they brought in themselves. They're like hard liquors and stuff. And this guy comes kind of stagger in through the entryway to the dining room, and he has he comes and he gets a towel like they spilled something, and he's walking back and he goes, "You two just gonna sit in this dark area all night? You can come join us if you'd like." We've got drinks over there.
She continues to just kind of like stir her drink.
Well, suit yourself. Come on over if you get thirsty. He's gonna walk back to the group.
Yennefer turns to Zezzy and is, do you suppose he didn't see the drinks that both of us already have?
I don't know. I wonder what he's on. And if it's any good.
Judging by the way he was walking, it was a lot of different stuff.
I've never known a sailor to have anything of decent quality.
I learned not to trust sailors when they ask me if I want a drink.
Especially when you already have a drink.
Well, this is going to be a fun adventure.
Brian,
Why don't you guys...
let's be real. You can't just be like, oh, there's an abandoned girl at the bar with a drink. Let's ask her if she wants another one. Guy gets up from a table full of sailors. How fishy is that?
Fishy.
As fishy as he smells.
Girls don't just get up and go hang out with groups of men unwarranted.
He invited both of you.
Still, though.
Why don't you guys roll perceptions?
Okay.
Hold on. Ooh, I don't know what my stat is, but it was a 19 on the die.
Jeez.
13.
23.
Oh, I lied. Hold on.
Perfect.
14.
The things that you guys are able to make out, Yennefer, more clearly than Jezia, is basically a conversation that consists of things like, may not be able to set out as early as we thought in the morning. We'll make it. Bloody cold out. And like, I hate nights in Torrington. Why is that? They're always the most dangerous out of all the places we go. This place ain't right. How about that weather? You guys been watching the Torrington Pirates? I think that name is insensitive. It gives pirates a bad name.
Zezia just kind of perks up and she's like, what do you mean it's dangerous?
She says that where, like at the entrance or something? Or did she actually walk
did they
over?
leave?
They're like across the hotel from you.
Oh, so they'd be like off at different tables?
So you
I think
guys
they're like in the entranceway.
you guys are in the dining room.
Oh,
They are across the lobby
that
in
is
this
really far, isn't
yeah
it?
fireplace down here, two rugs away.
I guess I'll get up and walk.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a d20 to see if she can walk. Okay, I got a 15. She can maneuver.
And you're not completely alone with these guys. Like the Daniel's over there at the counter. He can see everything going on the first floor. So
She's gonna basically walk over and sit on a different table, like, on top of the table nearby, and just be like, what do you mean it's dangerous?
Hmm? Sorry, I didn't know you were gonna hear that, but, I kind of took on my country western voice here for a bit.
Are you gonna turn into Tom?
I, I'm actually quite surprised you guys are out this late. From my experience, the town of Torrington there's a lot of strange things that go on at night.
There's a lot of strange people, too, and strange people don't really have a bedtime, do we?
Fair, but, stranger than you even, based on what I've heard. Back to my country voice, son of a bitch. Things ain't right here. We've been coming here for several years now. And ain't never heard some of the tales that we've heard lately.
Oh, which one?
And some of the dock workers kind of jump in and they're like, oh, plenty of things.
Did you hear about the big gray dude that fell from the sky? We met him.
Gray dude. And one of the dock workers gets all excited. You mean that silhouette in the sky?
Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
God
He didn't
blimey.
really understand humanity much.
We saw it. Came right out into the sea. Lots of theories going around. We had bets that maybe it was some sort of alien or some such.
Something like that.
I heard he was a god.
God, you say?
Or celestial, I don't remember.
Mighty weird, mighty weird. The point being, we don't see a lot of these things going around in other cities other than Torrington.
Oh, and then there was the gardening contest where everybody had plants that ate people.
Right, yeah, I read about that in the Torrington News. It was the Torrington Daily. It was kind of a mess to clean up. I heard they're
Yeah.
not gonna have it next year.
I wasn't there for that one.
I would have liked to be there for that. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, something about some plant that ate people. I think one of the judges got eaten, and maybe two of the judges, if I recall.
Well, fish have to swim, birds gotta fly, plants gotta eat people.
I heard rumors of vampires in this town. God blimey, there ain't no such thing as a vampire.
Oh, no, there are.
What, you seen one?
Well, my friends that stay here sometimes, they killed him.
You got friends that killed a vampire?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
You can't just up and kill a vampire.
You bloody well can.
You bloody well can.
You bloody well can? I don't know. It seems like the thing to say.
So you guys talk for a bit, and they start telling stories about just weird rumors they've seen, cloaked figures roaming around town, lights in the obelisk, and the more talk on the vampires. And a lot of it seems preposterous, like the silhouettes falling out of the sky. And if you guys hadn't witnessed it or even had friends that witnessed it firsthand, you probably would have been like, no, a lot of these things they're saying. But
we're part of those weird folk that run around saving the town or destroying a lot of the town. I'm surprised there's not, like, insurance folks, like in Vash the Stampede, that just follow us around like, look, guys, you owe us this much money because you destroy everything.
And as you guys are talking, one second. Dun, 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 dun. Suddenly the door flings open. and Hobart staggers in. And
I'm
he
really
is
glad you said something because you hesitated for a second. And I was like, oh no, something bad's gonna happen. Can I fling it closed?
he's got one hand under his big flappy ear up on his neck, and as he staggers in, he's like dripping drops of blood across the floor, and finally he collapses in a giant elephantine heap. Bloody hell!
Can I see if he's dead?
He's moving. He's kind of writhing around on the floor a little bit.
Oh, I
Can I
didn't
give
pick
him
spells.
a healing potion?
Yeah, you can try.
Oh wait, I don't know if Zezia has any healing potions.
Several of these
I don't
sailors
think I have any.
well, all the sailors and dock workers are gonna get up. Those who are sober enough to stand, and even Daniel comes walking over, and they all crowd around and start like checking on him. And one closes the door as the wind is kind of blowing outside. And you all right, mate? He bends down and he looks at him, and you can see as they kind of roll him over on his back, and they kind of move his hand away, that the blood is coming from these. Well, he's got a few cuts and stuff, but he's got these two puncture marks on his neck. The hell is that?
Do we see that?
Yeah, you can witness all of this.
God damn it.
Hobart's gonna catch his breath, and then he's gonna go, I was outside. Some damn fool thing out there just jumped me out of nowhere. I fought it off, but it bit me. Damn thing bit me.
Sounds like a snake.
It's like a snake the way it bit me, but it looked like a man. No, Hobart's the name. Hobart Homefloor.
Yes, I've heard of those snake people. I believe they're called Yuan Ti.
Well, they're not gonna have teeth when I'm done with them. Let's go. Zezia, like, looks around to see if there's anything sharp laying around.
You would see like a letter opener probably on the desk. Like in the kitchen, there's probably some forks. I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
Obviously,
Fine.
if
She
you
has
actually,
a dagger.
obviously, if you actually like go into the employees only kitchen, you'd be able to find a butcher's knife and stuff. Meat, steak knives and stuff.
They have a kitchen only for employees.
I mean, that's generally taken for granted.
They
I mean,
have
look,
their own kitchen, though.
Zezia just looks at him and says, look, you don't want to go back there anyway. Rupert keeps weird stuff back there.
The main pirate is closely examining this wound, and he goes, I don't think this will no snake bite.
Well, snake person, obviously.
We was just sitting there talking about bloody vampires.
So that's obviously the least likely thing that it would
So
be.
when he says that, Zezia's gonna pick up a chair and like slam it on the ground and try to break it, because she wants one of the wooden legs.
Jeez, okay. Strength check, I guess.
All right, don't have the strength, but we're gonna try, because she's tripping balls. I rolled a 15.
That's enough. You break a couple of the legs off of this thing.
Sweet. I'm gonna toss one to. How do you say your name again?
Yennefer?
Yennefer. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna toss you
They didn't
a
really.
shard of wood.
They didn't really splinter as much as the nails just popped out.
Oh.
or the bolts or whatever they had bolting them together, pegs maybe. So, um,
So I'm gonna pull out my dagger and I'm gonna shave some of it off so it's sharp.
okay.
And I'm gonna stick it like on my belt. And I'm gonna be like, all right, let's go. We're ready to hunt vampires.
Hold up. This thing probably just fed off this man and didn't get a full meal, so it may still be hungry and out looking for more. But I don't know if we'll catch it. What we do know is this man needs help. I feel all right. You don't look all right, mate. You didn't get sucked dry, so I don't know how much longer you have until your turn. But the only thing I've ever heard tell of that can remedy this is you got to take him to Todd. Who the bloody hell is
What?
Todd? Todd Von Zarovich. He lives over in
Oh, god damn it. Damn it, Brian.
He lives in Castle Ravenroost over at Bavaria.
God. I need to mute myself.
I'm gonna cast detect poison and disease.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Let me just look up what that 100% does. Okay, so for 10 minutes, I can sense the presence of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases. And I identify what kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease is each case.
When you cast this, you can see this disease-like virus spreading from his neck throughout his body, and it's moving at a decent pace for what you know based on your experience with diseases. It's unfamiliar. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. It's almost like a magical thing in a sense. You'd guess it's like a fucking transmutation kind of a disease. The way that it's affecting his cells and the way that it's starting to affect his flesh and stuff.
So, real quick, are there strings of garlic in the kitchen?
Most likely.
Okay. Zezia is gonna go get some. And she's gonna... Oh, it's on his neck, never mind. I was gonna say to, like, try to tourniquet the wound off, but it's on his neck, so that's not gonna work. You'll just suffocate the man.
I'm going to pull him up and sit him in a chair. And be like, yes, I know how to deal with this kind of disease. Not to worry. And, can I, like, stab him through the neck with my short sword?
I mean, yeah.
Does he seem to die?
No. You certainly released a lot more blood, though.
But he's not dead.
You just like stabbed it into his neck, or you stabbed him through the neck?
Oh, through the neck. Like, from behind, straight through the neck.
Jeez.
Why?
It was a bit of a gamble you took there. No, he's not dead. What in bloody hell? Oh, I guess he probably can't talk very well. What in bloody hell, mate?
I lied. This isn't a snake bite. If he had died, I could have cured him quite easily.
Everybody roll a dex save.
God. Oh, nice.
16.
Okay.
22.
Both of you maintain your balance as the floor suddenly shakes and you hear a massive explosion outside off in the distance. What the fuck? What's going on out here? I'm telling you, it's Torrington at night.
Here we go again. Sassy is gonna go look outside.
If
I'll follow
you
behind her.
It's kind of a foggy night with a full moon. There's a bit of a breeze, but nothing serious. And so the lights of Torrington are casting glowy halos around them in the fog, and the moon is kind of shining through, so you can see the streets and the buildings and silhouettes as they start to fade away. And as you exit, you can see, I'll pull this real quick, just for the sake of the stream. Over by the holy churches, you can see some fires off in the distance, and it's hard to make out what it is because of the fog. You can just see the glowing light, and it looks pretty big.
Okay.
Some sort of
Does it... Go ahead.
dynamite or something, I'd reckon.
Unless you're a spellcaster like me.
A moment later, there's another explosion, and this time you see it again over by the holy churches, and there's just an eruption of flame that you can see it. It sends particles into the air, and bits of probably cobblestone and dirt and rocks, and then it all comes crashing down, and there's a kind of a plume of smoke mingling with the fog. Listen, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not eager to stick around. Your friend, I don't know how much time he has. Based on the stories I've heard, it's not terribly long. I recommend you get him to Von Zarovich as fast as you can. And let's get the hell out of here.
Yes, I suppose if he's not going to become a snake person, we probably should take him to this Todd you speak of.
Should I go wake up the crew? We were gonna leave first thing in the morning, but we may have to leave early, I suppose. Our ship's all ready to go, so you guys can travel with us. The only thing is, this is going to eat into our work time, so you may have to pay for the voyage.
I slap him on the face and go, "God damn it, man! Todd damn it, man!
God.
This elephantine creature is dying, or I guess undying. We have to fix this, or you'll be responsible for more, possibly vampires, probably not snake people."
All right, fair's fair. I'll let it eat into our workload.
I go
Maybe
back to having like a blank look on my face and go, "Excellent, carry on."
Maybe we'll get good karma out of this one.
So yeah, I guess Zezzy is gonna like grab all her shit and get ready to leave.
Okay. The other pirate, or not pirate, the other sailor goes up to the second floor and starts knocking on doors and waking up their crew, and pretty soon a bunch of guys come bustling down, and they all head towards the docks. And
I go to Daniel real quick before we leave.
Anything I can do?
Yes. A man I had talked to before he left. A strange tiefling asked me about plants that you could eat. He went off to collect them in the forest, and I hand him a note. He says, "These are plants you absolutely should not eat. They are poisonous. Can you give that to him when he comes back?"
Tiefling, you say? He's staying here?
Yes, rather pink fellow.
All right. Well, if he doesn't come back by the time my shift ends, I'll relay the information on to the next one.
Thank you. To the boats!
When you get down to the dock, you see the men walking across the gangplank to this pretty decent sized ship. It kind of looks like it's probably a cargo ship, and it's got three masts, and it's got a forecastle and a quarter deck. It does not have a poop deck. It's got some guns on it, but not a whole bunch, maybe 20 guns. And it's big enough for this crew to manage, but it's not huge or anything. So when you get there, the sailor you were talking for, he's not a pirate. The sailor you were talking to has now donned his hat, and he's donned his coat, and he bears the authority of a captain, and he says, "All aboard that's going aboard. You doing all right, Loxodon?" And the Hobart says, "Yes, I'm feeling all right, a bit dizzy." And so once you guys board this ship, they cast off and start moving away from the shoreline, and they're going. Pull this up. They're heading west, away from this, and as you guys get a ways away from the shoreline, why don't you roll another perception?
Ooh. 20.
Okay.
13.
Didn't you guys roll that last perception?
I got 23 last time.
Let's see here. I'm looking for something real quick.
Zazia has a +6 to her perception because she is proficient, but I rolled very small.
As you guys pull away from Torrington, you get a kind of a different vantage point, and you can see now, as the city is silhouetted with just the shapes of buildings and stuff, almost like a cityscape. There's a light, there's obviously a light in the lighthouse, but there's also a light flickering on and off in the obelisk. And one of the pirates says, "That's what I was saying before. Lights in the obelisk, isn't that strange? Wonder what they're for." And from your vantage point, you can see, before you were blocked by the forest, but now that you're a ways out, you can see opposite the holy churches where the fires are burning. On the other side of the forest, there's a returning light on almost kind of ground level. And you also recall, I don't make your roll for your inventory. This is in your inventory, a map of Torrington with the obelisk circled. Something weird going on there, that's for sure.
There's too many weird things going on. We can only be in one place at once, Brian.
The ship starts heading southwest, and you guys sail on into the night. And you're free to roam around. They have in the military, they have the strict rules about who's allowed on the quarterdeck and stuff. But this is a casual ship, and no one really gives a fuck. So you guys can pretty much go wherever you want. The captain is up on the quarterdeck with the guy manning the helm, the helmsman, and everybody else is just, managing the sails and stuff. Nobody's really paying much attention to you. I think the captain's actually going to summon you over. He's going to kind of like wave a gesture to come talk to him.
When he gestures Zazia, she's actually on the very front of the boat, standing up on the railing with her arms wide out.
Oh, man.
I rolled a performance check. And I got 17. How am I doing?
You're doing great. You're able to maintain your balance as the ship is rocking in the waves, and you stay pretty level.
She turns around, she goes, 1 sec, and gets down and goes over to the captain.
Yennefer had been, like, sitting by, what's his name? The Loxodon.
Okay.
And kind of, like, poking him with his sword and being like, "Does this hurt? Does this hurt?" Not, like, stabbing into him, just kind of, like, like doing the doctor, like, can you feel it when I do this?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm imagining he's saying yes at all of these.
The ship's surgeon, he's kind of just giving him water and stuff and trying to tend to him, but he doesn't really know what to do. He's mostly just keeping him company. So when you guys go up to the quarterdeck, this captain says, "Hell of a night we're having. You guys ever been down to this Bavaria?"
Nope.
No, in fact, I've never even seen it on a regional map.
It's not a large island. It probably doesn't even appear on some of the larger maps, but the good news is I've been there before and I am familiar with the people there, so I could guide you through. The bad news is we're in a hurry, and it's not safe to travel through the waters at night. The surroundings of Bavaria, the Bavaria is surrounded by other islands, and there are evil people out at night. I say people, I don't want to freak you out. They're not entirely alive. Ghosts is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I've spoken with those before.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I figured some of the things you told me when we was talking in the Dolby Inn, I thought that you might be familiar with such things, but I didn't want to rattle you. We've encountered them before. It wasn't too much trouble, but they could certainly appear and cause some problems. I just want you to know what you're getting into.
Can't be any worse problems than we've already been in.
If you guys need... Go ahead.
Todd fellow.
Oh, Todd. Truth be told, the man's a vampire himself, but he's he's a good one if you can call him that. The story I heard is that his father was some sort of lord or king or some sort of Bavaria, and he made some deal with the devil or some such. I don't know the details. But
Sounds
when
like my kind of guy.
when the father couldn't pay up, he died before he repaid whatever it was he made the deal with. And so the debt fell upon the shoulders of his son Todd. When Todd refused, I don't know how it works or what happened, but somehow he was cursed to be a vampire, and some sort of unnatural vampire, like, I don't know. You'll have to ask him. But before he turned, he had laid waste to a lot of the enemy villages surrounding Bavaria, and so now they're inhabited by these ghosts, and they don't much care for him. This is all like third or fourth or fifth hand information. That's why I don't have a lot of the details.
Kinda like when you play that telephone game.
Exactly. What the hell is a telephone? I don't know, but it's a pretty fun game. I remember that when I was a lad.
But you have met this Todd.
Only in passing, but I've spent some time in Bavaria. The people there are very nice.
Okay.
Was he a gentleman?
Treated me and
A
me
real
mates well.
dandy.
He gave
I'm
us
asking for science.
he gave us a lot of food to take on our way.
Oh, well, that's polite. It's not like he needs it, I guess.
By
No.
food, do you mean people to drink blood from?
No. We got cakes, we got breads, we got wine, we got grapes and all manner of other fruits and vegetables and some steaks, and he really loaded us up.
Interesting.
I think he may like to live vicariously through others. He can't eat the stuff himself.
Well, that's fair. Have you
Nor
tried
can you
living
live.
for thousands of years?
Nope, never
real
tried it
boring.
myself. Let's do a quick happy birthday to Zelda. So, you guys sail on for a couple hours, and pretty soon, about halfway through the trip, the fog had cleared, and then by now the fog is actually returning as you're approaching your destination, and the whole ship gets kind of quiet. They were all just doing their normal hustle and bustle work and talk, and they're all tired, but they're able to, stay pretty jovial until the fog comes, and then suddenly everything quiets down and everybody gets pretty sober, and they sail on as the mists enshroud you, and you can just hear the water lapping at the ship. All right. If anything's going to happen, this is where it's going to be.
Zezia pulls out little pieces of leather and ties them around her wrists and casts mage armor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything to
Okay.
get ready.
You can see everybody is just kind of standing at the rails, looking out. Those that aren't manning the sails, the people up in the crow's nest are just ever watchful. And suddenly, out of nowhere, it's almost like the mists form the shape of a ship about the size of yours, adjacent to you. And you can see these ghostly figures on it roaming around and shouting. They're not like shouting, but you can hear like kind of echoey noises coming from them, as if it's like the roar of a bunch of men shouting, but it's distant and it's kind of reverby. And suddenly everybody's up in arms. Well, I suppose you're all about to see what I was talking about.
The ghost ship.
The ghost ship. You can see the surgeon is already like pulling the Loxodon down. He's going down towards the gun deck, and I think you guys should roll initiatives real quick.
Yeet. 19.
6.
Wow. My stomach growled and the mic picked it up. I watched my name light up. Oh, man.
All right, here's what you need to know. You can kill these things just like you can kill any man, but it's different. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just different. Just try not to get hit. So Jezia, you have the first move on this, and you see these ropes come, and they're ghostly ropes that anchor themselves to the rails of your ship, and these ghosts start crawling across. And they
How
also,
many ropes are?
I'd say
Sorry.
3 from bow to stern
Okay.
on the larboard side, and these ghosts also shoot a few up towards the shroud of these sails, and so they're starting to come across from deck to deck, and also from mast to mast.
All right. Let me see. What can I do that's really annoying? I'm just looking up a spell real quick.
Okay.
What do you mean? Um. So I'm going to, I guess I'll twin a firebolt
Interesting.
and aim for 2 of the ropes.
Oh.
That sounded like a bad O.
It's an interested O. You have to roll an attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow. I don't think I've ever done that before. I rolled double 15s. So that makes it 21.
These firebolts behave like you've never seen them before. Instead of starting these things on fire, when you launch them, they kind of funnel themselves inside of these ropes, almost like a fire tornado. They're just kind of spiraling around inside these ropes, and one of the flames reaches one of the ghosts crawling across, and it fills him with fire as well. And you see he does plummet down, but when he hits the water, he just kind of into a mist, and the fires just kind of evaporate from there. They not evaporate, but they just disappear. And I'll say the rope starts to fade away as a mist too. But is there anything else you want to do?
No, so I got rid of 2 of the ropes and 1 dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I twinned a spell. I can't really do anything else except for move, and I don't want to move.
Lalanowir.
Yeah.
So you currently have 1 rope at the stern of the ship, and a ghost is starting to make his way across.
It'd be like ice chewing ASMR over here. I'm sorry.
Let me check what this does quick.
Oh, I forgot you could do that. I always forget about the bot.
Yeah, I'll cast Sacred Flame on it.
On the rope.
On the ghost?
On the ghost. Okay.
Or is he not, like, at the bow? Or at the...
He's just started making his way across, so he's currently leaving his ship.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I'll try casting it on the rope. Why not?
I firebolted 2 of them. Why not?
Yeah,
why
you do you have to roll, or is this a thing? Let's see. Flame like.
It's a dex save.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna worry about it then.
I don't know how dexterous ropes are.
Yeah, it's going to be a similar effect. The cloudy shape of this rope starts to fill with flame, and then it starts to disintegrate into this vapor. And he manages to hang on. He is. Let me see. Yeah, for sure. He's just kind of he thuds. It's kind of a cloudy thud, but against the side of his ship, and starts trying to climb back up to the top. Is that your whole turn?
Yeah, that's all I'll do.
Okay. Let me see here. You see the portals on the side of this ghostly ship open up and some cannons appear. And the same happens with your ship. And then there's a thunderous, like from bow to stern, there's a thunderous racket of these cannons, one right after another. And you see the cannonballs, they hit the cloudy ship and they shoot right through with a vapor in the air, leaving this kind of smoke trail behind them. And the ghost ship starts to reform. That's about how it usually goes. The captain curses to himself. And then the ghost ship shoots its cannons at you guys, and they explode in a cloudy burst. And then you see these dark tendrils start to form their way around the side of your ship and up onto the deck, almost like veins. It's back to you, Zezia.
Well, I hate that. Let's see.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, basically. I want to scorching ray their ship.
Cool.
So I need to make 3 attack rolls. Let me just double check on this real fast. Alright. That's a 15, a 21, and a 16. And then on a hit, it takes 2d6 fire damage for each ray.
Mm.
So that's 8, 8, and 7.
What was that last 3 rolls for? Damage? What are you targeting on this ship?
I guess, how many masts does it have?
3, just like yours?
Then I target the mast.
All 3, okay.
Fuck it.
What is your scorching ray look like?
So basically, you said we're surrounded by mist, right?
It's foggy out.
So Zezia raises her hands and her eyes turn like a blazing shade of red, and like 3 beams of fire come out of the sky and like basically blast the masts.
Okay. Yeah, same effect. And this time it's on a much grander scale, and you see them. The fire becomes more clear and comes into focus as it pierces through this fog in the sky. And when it hits these masts, it comes swirling down and then just completely envelops the cloudy sails until they're just a whole ship's silhouette of flames just swirling around and then the whole from top to bottom, they start to just disintegrate into these vapors, almost like the heat is evaporating like a pot of water or something. It just kind of goes into the air and mingles with the fog and disappears. And you hear a lot of ghostly shouts and cursing from the pirates below, and some of the pirates that were up on the sails got consumed by this fire as well. And so that would bring us to Yennefer.
So, like, at the end of Zezia's turn, she turns and looks at Yennefer and, like, gives her a wink and blows on her fingers like they're a gun.
Yennefer, not to be outdone at this, cracks his knuckles and pulls out a little paper fan from his belt and kind of gives it a little wave in the air and casts Wind Wall. So it's a strong wall of wind for 50 feet long, 15 feet high, 1 foot thick.
Okay, Yasuo.
I want to cast this, like, through the middle of their ship, because gaseous forms can't pass through it.
Oh, that's dumb. I like it.
And it keeps fog, smoke, and other gases at bay. So I just kind of give it a little half-hearted, like, flick of the wrist, and it's just this wall of wind that cuts straight through their, like, the middle of their ship.
So I think at first, is it emanating from is it starting point at you and moving outward?
It starts as close to the ship as I can get it.
Okay.
Within 120 feet.
So you can start this thing right at the wall of the ship, and you start to see it's like you can see it cutting through. The vapors are right in the line of this wall of wind as it's blowing. You can hear it whistling through the ship, and everything that it touches gets sent up and starts to mingle and swirl with this flame that she cast, and it's all just turning into fog and mist and flames, and the pirates are shouting weird echoey shouts until finally it passes all the way to the end of their ship, and the whole thing starts to just break apart. And so you've got the bow of the ship kind of floating away one way and the stern of the ship floating away the other way, and it doesn't really look like it's sinking as much as it just is disintegrating. And as it starts to lose its stability, and the two sides of the ship start to tip towards each other like a sinking ship would, almost like the Titanic when it broke in half. Every kind of interior of the ship that touches the water just goes and the captain looks at you guys quite impressed, and he's going to shout. He's just going to shout to his crew, all hands, and he's like, full speed ahead. And they're just going to try and break away from this. So they start, they're not grappled anymore. They unfurl all of their sails, and even though it's not a strong wind right now, they're able to make some progress. And you see the distance growing between you and the ghost ship. That was impressive work, you two. You ever think about joining a crew? I've got some space available on this ship.
To be like a ship's mage.
Ship's mage, I like it.
I throw up onto the deck and go, afraid I'm not much one for sailing, actually.
So you guys see where these black tendrils were? They have kind of faded away by now, but the places that they touched start to almost looks like they're melting, like melting plastic, except it's still wood. It's just gotten kind of deformed.
So I'm gonna go cast mending and fix it.
Oh, okay. It's pretty large. They hit the ship in like 5 different places. But is there a rule for how large of a space you're able to mend?
No, I think it just depends.
There's
Well,
something.
yes, I think it's like a foot by foot square at a time or some dumb shit. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like the break can't be more than a foot or something.
You're able to fix all the tendrils on the deck so that the decks are now even again in the railing and everything.
It's a cantrip though, so you can just do it over and over.
Yeah.
If
I'll be helping with that.
Yeah, if you'd like to, they're gonna sail onto the island, and you guys can just work on that. So you probably go for another 30 to 40 minutes, it feels like, without incident. And finally, as the fog doesn't clear up. It just gets a little bit more, it's thinner and more visible, and you can see the island as you can't see the sun coming up, but it's the like general light in the sky is starting to grow more brighter, and you can see it's almost like dusk.
It's growing more brighter.
It's growing more brighter. And eventually, he's going to say, "This is as close as we're getting. I've never been this way before. Normally I go around the other direction, and we didn't have time, so we're going to have to just send you in on the boats. We don't have time to look for a port."
Okay. So you're just gonna drop us here where we don't know how to get there?
I could go with you, I suppose. I wouldn't mind trying to make something of my trip to recuperate my losses. Maybe I'll do some trading. So he's going to order his men to lower the lifeboats or the whatever they're called. And they get some barrels and some crates and things that they might be able to trade, and they stuff a bunch of them with that. But there's definitely room for you on a couple of them. And
I'm gonna give this dude 1,000 gold.
okay. 1,000 gold.
I'm not.
I have a lot, so I'm just gonna give him 1,000 gold so he stops bitching and just helps us.
His eyes brighten and he says, "Well, thank you. You're very kind. I won't forget this." And they have these they have this rigging for piping the side when a captain comes aboard, and they're able to put the Loxodon on that, and they're able to like anchor him up or raise him up into the air and over a boat and lower him down. It's a little hard because the sea is a little rocky, but they manage. And you guys are able to head to shore.
Okay. Sweet. And now we have a guide.
Anchor him up into the air. So it's sandy beaches, and it's grass up beyond that, and then it kind of goes into the forest. And the captain says, "As with everything of this place, I suppose I need to warn you about yet another issue. Inside that forest, the entire island is surrounded by a fog. It's hot, it's muggy, and it is strangely healing. Me and my men have been in there with scrapes and bruises from the ghost fights before, and the longer we spent in the foggy forests, the quicker we healed. However, this is where the warning comes in. It's a muscle relaxer of some sort. You start to feel tired. Based on what the Bavarians have said, if you stay in there too long, you slip into some sort of eternal slumber unless someone drags you out."
Oh. Is this a magic effect?
I don't know. Rumor has it was put this way to keep the To keep Todd trapped inside. He can't pass through the mists.
Are we on the land now, Brian?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I get as far as the grass and kind of collapse onto it, hugging the ground. And then while he's
So-
explaining this, I'm just like, I doubt that will be much of a problem for me.
Roll perception.
13.
Sorry. I was like thinking really hard about something dumb. Oh, I have a 24.
My life.
That's a big mood.
Well, I was just thinking, I was like, oh, he can't pass through the mist, can he? Well, what if Zezia decides to put, like, a Lehman's tiny hut in the mist and invites him in? Then we can, like, whoosh him out of the mist and rescue the vampire guy.
I just keep casting Wind Wall to dispel the mist.
So Yennefer is currently kissing the ground. But Zezia, you noticed that off in the distance, coming along this beach up in the grassy area, is a carriage. It's kind of like a completely covered one, and then it's got two horses pulling it.
Okay.
It almost looks like, you know, those tiny houses. It kind of looks like a tiny house.
Like a Vardo?
I don't know, what the hell is that?
Brian, don't you watch Little Realms?
Yes, exactly like that.
Of course I do.
Ooh.
Are these common here?
Aye. I didn't expect to run into one here. But yes, you see them around.
It's a weird looking carriage.
This Vardo gets closer, and I think the driver is just going to see Yennefer at the last minute and go, whoa, whoa, before running him over, and the carriage comes to a stop and the door opens. And you see a gypsy-looking wit lady pop out, and she goes, "What's the hold-up?" "Oh, hello."
Zezzy is gonna look at the pirate captain and, like, hold her eyes open and be like, am I still high?
"Greetings. We just came ashore. We've got a man that's in need of help, so we're off to see Todd. Mr. Zarovich, I should say." "Oh. Travelers from?" "All round, but we came from Torrington." "Torrington. Never been." "If you are all in need of supplies or something for your friend there, I may have something for you. Or you could get your fortunes told."
I want my fortune told. That sounds fun.
Come on in, come on in. She beckons you to her Vardo.
She's gonna, like, walk over, and as she's walking over, she's gonna turn back and look at everybody else and just kind of, like, put her hand over her mouth, like, oh, and in, like, a mock surprise, and follow to the door.
When you get in, it's pretty small, but it's pretty full. There are trinkets and knickknacks, and, like, just stepping on the steps to get in, and it kind of teeters to one side a tiny little bit. You hear tinka 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 as all this stuff hits the walls and shakes and rattles, and it's got these creaky springs underneath it. And so she's sitting there at a round table, and it's got a kind of a doily on it, and she's got these ornate chairs, and she says, sit down, and closes the door behind you.
I just want a little clip of you making that sound with your mouth that you just made. And then I want to, like, add layers to it and change their pitches. So we have just a sound bite of all the little chimes.
After she closes the door, she pulls out a deck of cards.
Zezia sits down and, like, straightens her loincloth. I guess that's what you would call it.
Okay. I think I... Have you ever posted a picture of Zezia before?
Yeah, she's, like, almost naked.
Wowza. Okay.
Wowza.
Hold on, I'm going to take a moment to think of something dumb.
What do you mean?
Here's how it works. I'm going to draw your cards and... Oh, I remember. That's right.
Maybe a slip?
Kind of. It's like
Kind
a
of?
long, fancy loincloth.
I forget what those are called.
A long, fancy loincloth.
She's told you like 10 times, Eric.
Loincloth.
From these cards, I will tell your future. And she starts laying them out. And as she studies them and explains them to you one by one, she ends up saying, you have mixed results.
What's that mean?
I see great things in your future. New friendships. I see potential for healing, but that will depend on your performance. Ah!
I'm really good at performing.
I see darkness. I see troubled waters. I see great magic. You yourself seem to be familiar with magic.
Yeah.
But this is not yours. This is something else. I see a windmill. There's something dark and terrible inside. I see a pie. Do you eat pies, dear?
Sometimes.
I recommend you stay away from them in your future.
Can do.
She's gonna put the cards away and say, well, good luck.
Okay, thanks.
She opens the door.
Oh, hey, wait. You're a gypsy lady. Do you have any peyote?
Of course, dear. She's gonna reach into one of her little drawers and dig around and pull some out, and it's in a bag, and hand it to you.
Yes. She takes it and puts it in her top.
She's going to say, "Oh, one moment," and just a second. Okay, she stands up and walks across the little tiny walkway of this place and opens up another cupboard. and she reaches in and she pulls out some she pulls out a few different plants. Why don't you roll a intelligence of, what would that be? Nature check.
I hope I have that. Ooh. A 12? I have a -1.
Okay.
Says he's not intelligent.
So why don't you roll a D3?
Three.
Oh, actually, why don't you roll 3D6s, actually?
Oh my god, I hate this. Did you make me fireball or something?
No.
6. 2. 4.
Okay. She gives you some rue.
Some what?
It's a plant. And
Rue?
yeah, and some
okay.
mugwort. And you got a 2?
Yeah.
Bitoni, if that's how you pronounce it.
I don't know.
Only a bit of Tony?
Yeah. You may want to keep these, dear, for when, if you should encounter this vision of a windmill that I saw.
Okay.
Oops.
So I'll be putting those in your inventory.
Yeah, she's gonna stick them in her pouch.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys are gonna next head into the woods towards Bavaria, but I think we could always tackle that next week.
Ooh. Multi-episode.
What? That never happens.
Not
It's also only 8:25, Brian.
well, normally we don't start till half an hour late, so normally it would be like 7 right now, my time.
9:26 to me.
You don't normally get continuity like this, but you guys as a group unlocked the Todd Von Zarovich adventure
Oh.
because one of you
Brian
got
just
turned
wants
into a
Aubrey to be here
vampire.
for it.
Because what?
I want what?
So Brian said one of us got turned into a vampire, and that's how we unlocked it. And then I said Brian just wants Aubrey to be here for the Todd Von Zarovich.
I don't know if I do. She got all mad about so the way Strahd was drawn. I shudder to think of what I'll do. Her reaction to my take on him.
But this is the like everyone knows this will be dumb.
Fair.
Different.
Super fair.
That's okay. The most recent episode for my pod is really fucking stupid.
Someday I'll get there. Someday.
Well, like, without giving a lot away, one of the characters, he's a Korax, and he was like, I'm gonna ask these birds for information. And I'm like, okay, you see these pigeons, and one has a french fry, and they're real fat. And he's like, okay. So he's trying to talk to them, and the pigeon's just like, what? Mine. And is eating the french fry. And he's like trying really hard to get information from, like, surrounding birds, but they're all too stupid. Like, I just got to act out being a stupid bird.
Perfect.
It was so good.